Hello, I am Shaylin. Welcome to JISH Learn English Podcast. Have you ever wondered when to use the word few and when to use the word little? This is a very common topic, and honestly, it is a mistake that even advanced English speakers make sometimes. Today, we are going to fix that together. By the end of this episode, you will understand exactly how to use these words, and you will feel completely confident using them in your own daily conversations. Before we start, here is a question for you to think about. If I am talking about water, should I say a few water or a little water? Listen carefully to today's episode because the answer is hiding inside our lesson. Also, please do not forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a lesson with me. Let's begin. Let's listen to a conversation between Mark and Anna. They are getting ready for a morning picnic in the park. Listen to how they talk about the food they are bringing and the time they have.
Are you ready for our picnic, Anna? We only have a little time before the train leaves.
I know. I woke up a little late this morning, but I am almost ready now.
That happens to me too. Did you pack the food?
Yes, I packed a few sandwiches and a little cheese. I also put a few cookies in the bag.
Perfect. I love your cookies. Did you bring any fruit?
I brought a few apples, but honestly, there is very little fruit left in my kitchen. I need to go shopping later.
That is okay. A few apples are enough for the morning. We can always buy something at the park if we want.
True. Oh, and I also packed a little juice. I was not sure if we would need more.
A little juice is fine. I will bring a few bottles of water from my bag.
Great. By the way, how much money do you have? I only have a little money in my wallet today.
Same here. I have very little cash, actually. But that should not be a problem.
Yes, the park is free, and because it is so early, there will probably be few people there.
That sounds wonderful. I really want a quiet morning.
Me too. Oh, I also sent a message to a few friends. They might join us later in the afternoon.
Really? That is great. I have not seen them in a long time.
Yes, but only a few of them are free today. Everyone is busy these days.
That is true. People have very little free time now.
Exactly. That is why a picnic like this is so nice.
All right, grab the bags. If we wait a little longer, we might miss our train.
You're right. Let's go.
Did you notice how Mark and Anna talked about the food they packed, the time before the train leaves, and the people who might be at the park? During their conversation, they used the words few, a few, little, and a little. These words help us talk about small amounts of things. But what does small amount mean? A small amount means not many or not much. It means there is some, but the number or the amount is not large. For example, if I say I have a few books, it means I have some books, maybe 3 or 4 books, but not many. If I say I have a little money, it means I have some money, but not a lot of money. So these words help us describe small quantities in English. Now let's understand how to choose the correct word. The most important thing to understand is this. In English, some nouns are countable and some nouns are uncountable. Let's start with countable nouns. Countable nouns are things we can count with numbers. For example, 1 apple, 2 apples, 3 apples. Because we can count apples with numbers, apples are countable nouns. In the conversation, Anna said, I packed a few sandwiches. What does she mean by a few sandwiches? She means she packed some sandwiches, maybe 3 or 4 sandwiches. It is not many sandwiches, but it is more than 0. She used a few because sandwiches are countable. We can count them. 1 sandwich, 2 sandwiches, 3 sandwiches. Anna also said she packed a few cookies. What does she mean by a few cookies? She means she packed some cookies, maybe 3 or 4 cookies, but not many. Again, cookies are countable, so she used a few. She also said she brought a few apples. This means she brought some apples, maybe 3 or 4 apples. Apples are also things we can count. Later in the conversation, Mark said he would bring a few bottles of water. What does Mark mean by a few bottles of water? He means he will bring some bottles, maybe 2 or 3 bottles of water. Not many bottles, but enough for their picnic. He used a few because bottles are countable. We can say 1 bottle, 2 bottles, 3 bottles. So here is the first simple rule. If something is countable and you want to talk about a small number, use a few. For example, I have a few friends in this city. This means I have some friends, but not many. I need a few minutes to finish my work. This means I need a small number of minutes, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Now let's move to the second idea, uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns are things we usually do not count with numbers. Instead, we talk about the amount. For example, in the conversation, Anna said, "I packed a little cheese." What does a little cheese mean? It means she packed a small amount of cheese, maybe just a small piece or a small portion. Cheese is usually uncountable in English. We do not normally say 1 cheese, 2 cheeses when we are talking about cheese in general. Instead, we talk about how much cheese there is. Mark also said they only have a little time before the train leaves. What does a little time mean? It means they have some time, but not very much time, maybe only 10 or 15 minutes before the train leaves. Later in the conversation, Anna said she had a little money in her wallet. This means she has some money, but not a lot of money. She also packed a little juice, which means she packed a small amount of juice, maybe 1 small bottle. Money, juice, time, and cheese are all uncountable nouns. So here is the second simple rule. If something is uncountable and you want to talk about a small amount, use a little. For example, I need a little help with this problem. This means I need some help, but not a lot. Can I have a little sugar in my tea? This means I want a small amount of sugar. So now you know the basic difference. If you can count it, use a few. If you cannot count it, use a little. But there is one more important detail that will help your English sound very natural. Sometimes we remove the letter A. Instead of saying a few or a little, we simply say few or little. When we remove the A, the meaning becomes more negative and shows that there is almost none. For example, Anna said there will be few people in the park. What does few people mean? It means almost no people will be there. The park will be very empty. If she said a few people, it would mean some people will be there, but when she says few people, the number is very small, almost 0. Mark also said he had very little cash. This means he has almost no money. Anna also said there was very little fruit in her kitchen. This means there was almost no fruit left. So remember this helpful idea. When you say a few or a little, it means some amount. But when you say few or little without a, it usually means almost none. Let's quickly review everything together so it stays clear in your mind. If something is countable, like apples, cookies, sandwiches, bottles, or friends, use a few. If something is uncountable, like cheese, juice, time, or money, use a little. And if you remove the A, the meaning becomes more negative and shows that there is almost none. Now let us return to the question I asked you at the beginning of the episode. I asked, if I am talking about water, should I say a few water or a little water? Did you guess the answer? Water is a liquid, and we cannot count it with numbers. We do not say 1 water, 2 waters when talking about the liquid itself. So that means water is uncountable. Because of that, the correct answer is a little water. If you guessed that correctly, wonderful. Write a little water in the comments if you got it right. Now it is your turn to practice speaking and writing in English. I have a question for you, and I would love to read your answers in the comments below this video. What is something you have a few of, and what is something you need a little of right now? For example, my answer is, I have a few great ideas for our next video, but I need a little coffee right now. Write your answer in the comments so I can see your progress and read your sentences. If this lesson helped you feel more confident using English, please click the like button and subscribe to JISH Learn English Podcast. It really helps our channel grow, and it helps me continue making lessons for you. Thank you for spending a little time learning English with me today. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and I will see you all in the next episode.